Carson Wentz is still not cleared for contact, so last night he was only able to participate in the coin toss and cheer from the sideline as the Eagles beat the Falcons. It doesn't look like he's coming back anytime soon. NFL Network reports Wentz could miss several weeks, and Nick Foles could be the starter until October. So we're joined in the studio now by Fox NFL analyst Greg Jennings. Let's start with you on this one. How do you think this QB situation is going to play out in Philly?
Well, Nick Foles is a guy right now, but Carson Wentz, that is your franchise. And I believe when he comes back, it's really a no-brainer. And I say that now because of the way Nick Foles started the season last night.
Right.
But this is Carson Wentz's team. I mean, it's clear that he is the alpha in that locker room within that organization. My concern, however, is Nick Foles starting from the onset, from the word go. Last night, his showing last night was very similar to how he showed up in Oakland. When they played Oakland last season, he went like 9 or 19 for 38, one touchdown, and it wasn't so much his rating that was so shocking and alarming, which I'm sure you're going to touch. It was the lack of precision down the field. There was no pushing the ball down the field last night. 3 passes, receiving passes that were caught that were longer than 10 yards. You can't sustain drives that way. And they have the luxury of a really, really good defense, which if your defense continues to play like that, you can get by. The defensive guys, 4 sacks, 8 TFLs, 13 quarterback hits. You're going to have success when a defense is playing like that. But as a quarterback, you can obviously see and tell that they missed Alshon Jeffries, that big target that you can throw the ball up to, the circumference area, the target. You don't have to be extremely accurate and perfect. He's going to make those plays.
Keep going.
But
now you're getting hot.
I mean, it is a concern. And that was my concern going into this year. Nick Foles starting the season as the number 1 guy versus coming in after the offense was already rolling last year to sit in and just keep it going. Now you have to start this engine. It starts with you. And I just don't see it coming to fruition the way it did last year. I'm not going to overreact because it was one game, first game of the season, week 1.
I believe Wentz will take over in October, but they need to be very, very cautious. Skip, this is not your typical ACL tear. It's ACL, LCL. Normally it's ACL, MCL. So it was a little bit more severe, and he tore it so late in the season. Everybody wants to say, well, you see what AP did? Very, very different. Very, very different situation. And the thing is, I don't ever think we'll see that Nick Foles that we saw for those 2 games in the playoffs, the championship game and the Super Bowl. Skip, he's not that guy. That guy is the greatest quarterback. If a guy could play like he played in the championship game in the Super Bowl, that's the greatest quarterback to ever live. And Tom Brady, Joe Montana, whoever you want to say is the great, they didn't play. They can't play like that every game. So I believe he's a step better than what he showed last night. But he's nowhere near what he was in the Super Bowl. But if you look at their schedule, starting in October, they're home to Minnesota, at the Giants, home to Carolina, at Jacksonville. It's very important that they get off to a great start. Now, they got the win at Atlanta. Now they got Tampa. They got Indy. They got Tennessee. You really need to stack those wins. I believe Wentz will be back in a month. But if he's not, and you got to go through this gauntlet, things could get real, real, real interesting. Carson Wentz isn't healthy. When he's healthy, there's no question in anyone's mind except yours that Carson Wentz is the better of the 2 players. Only you believe that Foles is better than Carson Wentz.
No way.
So I just heard from both of you that Nick Foles just got lucky in an NFC Championship game and a Super Bowl, that it just sort of happened. Nobody can figure out why. You can't get lucky on the biggest stages in the sport.
I'm not saying he got lucky.
Twice. That's what he thinks. He thinks it was just some blip. It was just some freak of nature where he suddenly woke up and said, I'm Tom Brady.
Had you ever seen him play like that before?
Yep.
He He's played lights out.
I saw him in a regular season under Chip Kelly go 27 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. I saw him outplay Drew Brees in a playoff game in Philly as a first-year starter, and yet Drew Brees in the end drove him down for a walk-off field goal. But Nick Foles played really well in that game. In the postseason for his career, Nick Foles is 8 touchdowns to 1 interception. For his career in the regular season going into last night, he was 61 touchdowns to only 29 interceptions. 29? That's outrageously good. That screams starting quarterback.
Yes, but they're not on that team.
So under Doug Peterson, he's now 6-1, but the one was the give-up game at the end of the year against my hapless Cowboys. It was just like a giveaway. Nobody's going to play. Nick Foles is barely going to play in that game. Right. And that's registered as a loss on his record. He should be 7-0, including last night. And I said this earlier, but I might have to dust off my old Tim Tebow slogan. All he does is win. He makes the plays that have to be made. And by the way, how much help did he get last night, and what was his degree of difficulty? Because he's playing against Matt Ryan, former MVP, just 2 years ago. Matt Ryan was the MVP of this league. Matt Ryan is throwing to the best receiver in pro football, according to you.
Not very accurately last night.
Okay, but he's still, you've got that weapon.
Yeah, he does.
You got Sanu. Sanu's pretty good.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not Greg Jennings, but he's pretty good. Calvin Ridley, everybody's raving about him. He was out there, I think. I don't know. Threw him a couple of balls. But wait a second.
Go ahead.
Nick Foles doesn't have Alshon Jeffrey.
No, he doesn't.
Alshon Jeffrey helped make Carson Wentz last year, and he helped make Nick Foles in the postseason because you can throw it in his area code and he will snatch it the way Anquan did in that playoff run for Joe Flacco. Remember that? I thought Anquan just made Flacco.
Yeah,
he made him a bunch of money. I know that, right?
He did.
And then last night, think of degree of difficulty. All of a sudden, Zach Ertz just loses it. I don't know what happened. He just had a bad night.
You get a case
he's
of the drop. It happens.
He's their go-to. And once the demon gets in the back of your mind and you say he didn't complete balls downfield, there was a 3rd and 14 play. He hits Zach Ertz right in the breadbasket. I mean, it literally goes through his hands and hits him in the stomach, which means you're just, for one night, you lost it. And I sat in here belly aching about what the Cowboys didn't do because I thought Dallas Goedert was going to be the next Jason Witten, and Howie Roseman snaked him. He traded up 1 pick before in the 2nd round and drafted Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert got hit right in the hands. Look at that. Boy, that's right in the breadbasket. Dallas Goedert, their rookie tight end, I think he's got star potential. But Foles hits him with a 15-yard pass for a first down right in the hands, and he just kind of muffs it, goes up in the air, and that was the big pick.
He
that
does.
Was the Deion.
That's a rookie mistake of not really slowing down. Nick Foles was trying to slow you down.
Yeah.
I know you're going to get tagged.
Well, he tried to slow him down and try to put it.
Exactly.
But he kept flying across there.
All right, but again, nothing really went right for Nick Foles, and he won the game, right? Yeah. Did he have LeGarrette Blount last night? No, he did not. Is Aguilar a number 1 receiver? He is not. No, He's just not. So who are you throwing to? Zach Ertz has gone south mentally. What are you doing? How do you survive that game? Well, he made just enough plays to survive the game. And they won another game that you'd say, well, they didn't even go in as the favorite. Atlanta was favored by a point in the end because everybody's betting on Atlanta.
Here's my
Did Nick Foles win the game, or did Atlanta give it away?
Atlanta lost it.
With 15 penalties, 100 and some, over 40.
In the red zone.
You can't score.
The inefficiency in the red zone.
Atlanta blew that game. I mean, they had the same opportunity that was presented to them in the divisional game.
But Atlanta gave the game away, you say. Who made the dumbest mistake of the whole night? Somebody named Trey Sullivan on special teams for the Eagles. He steps on a live ball. Did he not?
They kind of pulled him into that. I mean, he
pulled him into it?
They did. They definitely wrestled him. They wouldn't let him go. They wouldn't let him go.
Because what they tell you, when they start waving you out, run out of bounds.
Get out. As far away from the ball as you can.
Don't you have some live word that you scream?
Poison.
Whatever?
Yeah.
Get away. And he steps on the football. Was that not a huge mistake?
Well,
that's a killer.
Well, Matt Ryan throwing an interception at the 3-yard line didn't help either.
All right.
But what concerns me is Nick Foles playing well. Then what do? Because coaches are very superstitious. They like momentum. We have momentum. We're 4-0. We're 5-1. And Carson comes back.
How would Carson have looked last night? What if they throw him into the fire? And I know
no.
But what if? What if he had missed the end of the year, missed all the playoffs, and they close their eyes and say, you got to go. And you don't have Alshon, and what if Zach Ertz had a bad night, and you're playing against a really good Atlanta defense? Do you think Carson Wentz would have looked any better than Nick Foles did last
and
night?
I think the luxury that they have is that they can take their time with Carson Wentz because they have Nick Foles. Now, if you got to back up, say, like one of those guys in Dallas, or you got somebody that's not Nick Foles who's just gone out and won your Super Bowl.
We don't have a backup quarterback.
Yeah, you do. You got two of them.
We don't. They're just bodies. I don't know who they are.
But you could be
how they're there.
In a situation like this, you could be overly cautious because you do have Nick Foles.
And I really think that's what they're doing, and rightfully so. When you're thinking about, when you look at Carson Wentz and who he is to that organization, to that city, he is their franchise. Everything they're doing is built around Carson Wentz. And so to rush him back, even if he's knocking at your door every single day, like, Peterson, Duff, I'm ready to go. No, let's just take it easy because it's a long season. We've seen what has happened before with quarterbacks coming back early and players coming back early, and it doesn't work out. They have, as you mentioned, the luxury to literally sit back and say, Nick, we can go as slow as we need to get this offense rolling and back to where we were last year.
Hypothetically, what if Nick Foles goes 4-0 by hook or crook?
You know what's going to happen.
What happens?
You
and then
know
all
what
of a sudden, Carson Wentz says, "I am 100% clear me. I'm ready to play." And
Doug
you
Peterson
throw
will say
him
no.
back. No, he will. He'll throw him in there.
No, he won't.
The Philly fans they're the worst, man. They're the toughest. They boot him off the field at the end of the half for scoring 3 points.
I know what you want to happen.
Well, they're going to be all over Carson Wentz. The first interception, Foles.
No,
Foles.
You
They're
won't.
gonna chant,
No,
yes, they will.
you want to try to.
Hey, you don't know these people.
You want to try to sow that, but it's not going to happen, Skip Bayless. You might as well get ready to deal with this migraine for the next 15 years, because that's what Carson Wentz is going to be for your Cowboys. A migraine, and it. Botox and all these other drugs, oxygen. Sometimes they have to give you oxygen. Pure oxygen. Cure the migraine. I know TD had a lot.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Limp it to him, Wentz. He's going to have a hard time.
Limp it to him, Wentz.
Yep. He's going to have a hard time.
Hard time doing what?
Because the pressure will be exponentially too much on him. Because he's going to be forced to come back in and suddenly take it up to an MVP level for, let's say, hypothetically, a 4-0 team. You can't screw that up. And if you throw a couple of picks in the first game,
Oh, big old country farm boy.
Foles.
North Dakota, Skip. You see that big old red? He used to be in the cold weather and farming on that big old farm he just bought up there. Yeah. He fine. He ain't worried about no pressure.
No, this is Carson Wentz's team. And I think everyone in Philadelphia, the fans, the team, the guys within that locker room,
I don't know.
Even
I watch
the guy wearing number 9 Nick Foles jersey last night knows that's Carson Wentz's team.
Yeah.
I don't know. When I watch Carson Wentz, maybe it's because it's deer hunting season, but he looks deer in headlights to me. He does.
So what was on 33-7 last year? 33 touchdowns, 7 picks. Was going to be the MVP until he got hurt.
You really aren't going to give Carson Wentz any credit?
I don't know. I just never loved him. I think he's pretty good, but he's not.
He's not Dak Prescott.
No, he's not that guy.
What would you stop?
What happened in their rookie years? What happened?
What happened last year?
Rookie years?
Yeah,
what happened
what's
last
happened
year?
with the combined QBR of those two quarterbacks over these last 2 years? Who has the best stats? It's not even close. It's Dak.
He does love QBR.
No, well, he just.
I love
it's
WIN.
tell-all.
That's what I love, Greg. I love WIN.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, do you love 7 and 9 the first year under Carson Wentz?
You love 9 and 7?
Carson Wentz, WINCE.
You know what?
That's what he was.
We all love you
Carson
being
Wentz.
here, Greg. So thank you for joining us for this segment. Will Kirk Cousins lead the Vikings to the Super Bowl this year? We'll discuss that.
You got the purple on.